Welcome to Venusian Soul Tarot. Today I'm back with another pick a card reading, and I'm excited today to be doing a collaboration with Colleen from Spiritualistic. Now, I love her channel. Absolutely love her channel. There's not many readers that I sit and wait for them to post. I wait for her. Like, her readings are just out of this world, and her ability to channel and tap into really high vibrational information and energies is so beautiful. So today I will be doing a pick a card, and it's going to be how to step into your abundance. And then you can click on the link in the description box below, and Colleen will be doing blessings you don't see coming. So I want you to cast your gaze over these cards and ask your higher self which cards have a message for you. We have pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. If you need to pause the video to meditate further, please do so. But for those of you who are ready, let's get started. Hi, group 1. So as it pertains to your abundance and how to move into it, I feel for this group there's a very specific message, because when I'm looking at this cosmic flower, I keep seeing a seed, and Spirit's making me feel as though for many of you there's a seed that's going to bloom. And it's like with this heart chakra, again, I keep seeing, and it's funny, we have like this green energy, this there's a level of fertility around a particular idea or project that's going to bloom and going to blossom. So I feel for this group it's more of the energy of encouragement in terms of acting on this instinct, or really having the faith to bring it to life. Because I feel for many of you there's something in your heart that you're going to create. But with this King of Coins, it's something that needs to be grounded, because I keep being drawn, again, there's a pentacle, but I'm seeing it as a seed. There's something that you're going to ground into the physical that's going to really bloom and blossom. But for some of you, this could involve with the Eight of Wands. Again, this is definitely confirmation for this group that there's a need to act on certain ideas you have. Because I feel for many, and not only act, I just heard trust. There's a need to trust what's coming in as well. But I feel for many of you, I keep seeing the number 9, and I'm getting that sense of you may have closed out a cycle, or you may have come out of this hermit-like energy, a phase of introspection, a phase of solitude, or a phase of, for some of you, stagnancy. Things may not have been moving as readily. There could have been just a sense of things on hold. I keep seeing the number 9, but we have it twice here, but I also am seeing the number 4. And I'm getting that sense of, again, grounding something, creating a foundation. I feel for many of you, this dream, this desire, this seed that you're planting, number 1, you love this. There's a sense that it's coming and it deriving from the heart space. It's like there's a dream and a desire in your heart that Spirit is saying act on, move ahead with. For some of you, it could involve communication, but I don't feel that for all of you. Yeah, there's definitely something I see you building, like a business, a project, a legacy. With the 3 of Swords, the King of Cups, firstly, the way you attract abundance is through the heart space, through the ideas that flow through the heart space, but it's literally your frequency. Because you channel such beautiful, you're very high vibrational, you channel a frequency of love that I feel perhaps not all are able to access within themselves. Of course, we all have that potential, but I just feel like you may have reached a vibration or reached a level where you can more readily channel energy from the heart into projects, into the physical, into the 3D. With Cosmic Flower, we have the frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. Again, when I think of core, I think of the heart space. It's like some of you as well, I feel like you've tapped into source consciousness, it's like an idea or a seed, but you get it directly from your heart, God, love, source, whatever you resonate with. that's a feeling, but I feel like it may have been a long time coming, and I feel like there could have been a lot of healing, because I feel for this group, your heart is not powerful when it comes to, you know, manifestation, abundance, drawing things forth, because things have been easy for you. I feel like you may have faced a lot of hurdles or obstacles when it comes to keeping your heart open, wounding, healing from the past. And with this King of Cups energy, again, like you're perfectly balanced is what I'm hearing, because it's like you use your beautiful, loving, watery, emotional element to water the seeds of what this is. It's the love you give and flow into that project, into that dream, into that vision that's going to manifest a lot of abundance. So Spirit is less talking about how to step into your abundance, and it's more like keep going, or act on this vision, take action. Because I feel, it's like for this group especially though, if your heart chakra closes, you will notice your finances take a dip in perfect unison with how you're feeling emotionally. Your heart center and your emotional body have a huge impact on your finances. I also think for this group, generosity is very important. For some of you, this vision, this idea, this dream, what you're planting could involve like being generous to others or giving to others in some way, whether that's healing, whether that's your light, whether that's your wisdom. I don't know, it could be, it could have a humanitarian aspect, or you may be interested in those areas. But I just feel for this group as well, it's like, you don't want to, I feel you may have had to learn how to balance giving and receiving, because I do feel for this group, you have such a huge heart space. You may have a tendency to overextend. So Spirit's still wanting you to balance that, but there is an element that your generosity is kind of repaid tenfold. With the Two of Coins beneath the King of Coins, for some of you, this path could be out of your comfort zone, or you may be deliberating with options. But I feel for some of you, this could be what you're doing now, or what you've been doing, what's comfortable, versus this new, what lights you up, this new project, this seed, this idea. There's something that wants to blossom in your world. I feel as though, you know, there's more that can come in for you, essentially. And it's like Spirit is asking you to have faith in what can be. I'm also hearing grounding is really important. I feel for some of you, at times you might get stuck in the mind, because they're making me feel like a sense of maybe at times overthinking this, or it's almost like a little bit of fear. It might be a little bit disconcerting in terms of like, for some of you, I'm hearing this is they're showing me a very solid foundation. And there's a lot of energy or emphasis that's placed on the foundation of this, which makes me think for some of you, this is it might seem to you or others like quite a lofty dream, or it may take a lot of energy, but it's like Spirit is really like giving you that green light. Okay, so for your oracles, we have right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment. So Spirit, again, this ties into what I was saying around the dream or the seed or what you're trying to create in the physical may seem daunting. And it's like Spirit is saying you attract more guidance, support, and abundance when you take it step by step and you don't overwhelm yourself, because again, it's like they're showing me a mind running away with itself, where it's like, what if this happens? What if it can't happen? Fear-based cognitions. And it's for some of you, literal mindfulness meditation and grounding yourself may be essential as well, because the other card you have is flow. And I keep hearing the words trust and flow for you. Allow me, Divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. I'm getting crown chakra energy here also. I feel like this idea came from Spirit. It either came from the crown chakra or the heart chakra, maybe both. But I just feel for this group, your crown and your heart are your strongest chakras. And I feel they have the potential to bring you a lot of abundance. The crown through through new ideas and through being able to receive guidance really clearly. And the heart, because it's like that love, that beautiful energy you radiate, nurtures those seeds, helps to bring them to life. And you have divine love. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Beautiful. Yeah, that's what brings you so much abundance. It's the amount of love you can channel into things. And it's also the love you have for this idea, this project. And calmness. The inner divine is the witness of awe, remaining still and quiet even during intense turbulence. So take a deep breath and then say, quiet my mind, dear Lord, may your peaceful calm take over. So we're seeing calmness and calmness twice. Again, I'm hearing monkey mind. For some of you, the greatest barrier to your abundance is overthinking, or at times being in a state where of self-doubt, of not being certain about your path ahead. Yeah, you have direction. Spirit is also saying they're guiding you. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body, and if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. It's not only trusting that you're receiving guidance, but it's acting and trusting what you're hearing. Because for some of you, again, I feel for some of you, there's some sort of fear around this. And that could be, it's not going to affect your abundance as long as you keep moving forward, but it may be, I'm hearing, stalling you, or it may just be slowing things a little, because Spirit's making me feel like, yeah, you will move past this, you will keep moving ahead, but there could be a little bit of fear or uncertainty around how it comes together, or if you're on the right path. And you have trust. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. For those of you that have this seed and have this idea or this dream, this vision, something that lights you up, and you're like, okay, I'm not hearing spirit, or I feel like spirit's not coming through. Number one, meditation, because it may not be able to get through that monkey mind or the fear. Number two, it's really in that place of waiting. You know how we can meditate where we're just connecting with source, like stillness meditation. There's no goal. You may use an anchor like your breath or whatnot to, calm the mind, but it's like really just being receptive and open to source. Spirit is saying that is going to help you with that process. For some of you, I feel like you've come out of a very difficult cycle, because with the Four of Cups beneath direction as well, I heard the message, the past won't repeat itself. If you've had past disappointments where you've tried to manifest something, or you've tried to create positive change in your life and you felt like it didn't blossom, because I'm hearing you're coming into a cycle where you're going to bloom and blossom, but your life is going to bloom and blossom around you, including a lot of abundance. So you're already on the path, or pointing toward the path that is going to bring you abundance. It's just about navigating it and trusting and being in that flow. But I feel for some of you, with karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. I get the sense, again, for some of you, communication is coming up. I do feel this dream or this vision could involve writing, speaking, sharing something. Not all of you though, some of you. But for others of you, I'm feeling this sense that you've come out of a really difficult karmic cycle where there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of wounding to your heart space, but it's like your heart has only grown bigger, and that there's been huge expansions in the heart chakra, and Spirit's saying things happen exactly the way they needed to. You also have here, I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. It's this light and this love that you're tapping into, and that's what I was feeling with heart chakra. For some of you, I'm seeing you reach directly into source consciousness and take out this seed or this idea. There's something that was divinely meant for you, and it's your trust and your connection with spirit and source that has enabled it to flow in and enabled it to come into your world. And Spirit's saying, like, there's a need to act on this because it is going to bring you so many blessings, so much abundance. But I do think there may be a period of discomfort where you're moving out of your comfort zone and you're needing to really, really trust, because it is going to test your trust and your faith, and you are going to be led step by step rather than, it all happening really rapidly and all coming together. Because they're showing me someone, it's almost like building a house. It's like you're laying the foundation, you're laying the cement. It's got to go step by step, because I feel for many of you, this is something very solid, or it has the potential to leave or create a legacy and be very long lasting. So Spirit is kind of helping and guiding you with that process and really wanting to keep your faith nice and strong. So that's all I have for you. I hope this reading resonates, and remember to check out the second half of this reading at Spiritualistic on the link below. Hi Group 2. So when it pertains to your abundance and how to step into your abundance, when I first laid these cards, I was feeling a sense of trust your intuition and trust your discernment, trust your knowing. I feel like at times there could be a little bit of doubt when it comes to your path. Like there's almost a sense of questioning yourself or overthinking. It could be a sense of like having an idea or having something that you feel could really grow and blossom and bloom, for example, and being open to it. But then it's almost like they show me someone picking it to pieces. And it's funny, we have conception, and if you look at this Mookaite crystal, it looks exactly like an egg. There's a sense of something about to hatch. But I just get that sense of, because I feel there's a battle here between the High Priestess, what you know intuitively, and the mental body. And I think at times it may be creating confusion. I'm also hearing it could be, there could be difficulties here between balancing the intuitive, the feminine side of self with the masculine. And these energies both have to be very balanced, and we have to be comfortable in both in order to attract abundance and manifest abundance. So for some of you, there could be some work you do around how to bring them both together. I'm hearing it is a sense of being open, essentially, being in that flow state, being open to the ideas that come in, open enough to act on them and believe they're possible, with the High Priestess and the Nine of Cups. Because for some of you, I feel like you do have a lot of great ideas as it pertains to your career, your abundance, your life purpose. But there seems to be at times a block, but I feel the block is mental. It derives from the mental body, whether this is a belief system, whether this is limitations from the past, overthinking, or all of the above. It's like there's a difficulty here with taking action, because I feel like when you go to take action with this Emperor energy, it's like that mental body just kicks in. And especially with Eight of Swords, it's like fear and doubt. We have here with conception, the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. For those of you who feel like you're in this Eight of Swords right now and you're stuck and you don't know what offering to bring in or how to bring in an offering, there's a sense of being open to infinite consciousness, divine consciousness, really opening up that crown chakra to allow the ideas to flow. But Spirit's saying they want you, and you can do that through meditation, through listening to music, anything that silences the conscious mind. It's like being more in that subconscious, divine feminine moon energy. But Spirit is saying the trick is when these ideas trickle in and you start receiving ideas and downloads, don't pick them to pieces, don't judge them. Like, it's like Spirit is saying, just leave them alone, write them down, brainstorm, but don't, because I feel like you may kind of do so, and then there's that energy of, oh, but can it happen, or this or that, and like overthinking. So we have with the discernment, the frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. At times when you feel confused, I'm hearing there's a need to take a step back. I'm also hearing there's a need to not take or look for your path, your direction in another. It's like Spirit wants you to forge your own path. There's lessons here as your abundance is tied, I'm hearing, to your independence and your willingness to trust yourself, to trust your own judgment, to trust your ideas, and to trust spirit as well, because it is a collaboration. But we have true offering above 8 of Swords. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. So for those of you who feel like you're in a difficult space, or you're having trouble moving or setting yourself free from something, maybe you feel stuck, maybe you feel limited with your finances, and that's affecting your ability to feel hopeful or to take action and move forward. It's like spirit is saying, give it to source, give it to God, ask for divine assistance, ask for divine support, and spirit will help you in that. But with outrageous openness, it's like the more open you are, especially to your own divinity, to the source within you, the more open your crown chakra is, the more you're allowing that a source to flow through you. That's when these ideas, and not only ideas, streams of income can find you, or streams of abundance. There's just, it's like there's more that's coming in for you. And this is in the form of ideas and abundance, but it's like spirit is saying you have to be able to receive it. And right now, that 8 of Swords, you may just be in a space where you're feeling quite like energetically stuck as well. I feel like for some of you could be feeling stuck in a situation, the physical, with finances, but it's like spirit's wanting you to open back up. They're saying any stresses you have around your path, your finances, a situation in your life, give it to God. Give it to the divine, and allow your mind to be at peace as much as you can. Yeah, freedom. I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good, release me from its bonds. There's energies mentally, and also there could be energies. It doesn't have to just be resentment, because I'm feeling it could be resentment, especially resenting like a situation or something that's going on. When I think of resentment, I think of thinking negatively about a particular situation, which locks you in that frequency and makes it difficult to transmute it, which is why spirit is asking you to give it to source so that it can shift, because you do have a lot of blessings coming in, but it's like there's going to be some sort of shift energetically for you and mentally that allows it to come through. Yeah, self-sufficiency. This is what I was saying. Self-sufficiency is sitting above the high priestess. It's self-sufficiency when it comes to your own knowing and discernment and intuition. I feel for this group, at times you may be looking, or you may have in the past, this could be a past energy, look to the external to tell you, whether that be like, it could just be like a book, a tarot reading, I don't know, a healer, a friend, a family member. It's like you've really had to learn, and this is what I was saying, your abundance is tied for you taking chances and bets on yourself, your own knowing, your own ideas, your own intuition. So we have the ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God. It doesn't mean hiding in a cave and saying, I don't need people. Instead, it's saying, God is my source, and I'm willing to receive all the help, love, and support that wants to come. This is a great prayer and affirmation for this group, because this is what Spirit is saying. When we say God is my source, it's essentially saying you are your own source, because in truth, you are God, you are divine, you are source consciousness. However, when I say you, I'm not talking about the ego personality self, obviously. I'm talking about that higher self, the divine self. However, I feel with this, right now, there could be a lot of barriers. Some of you may have a lot of defenses up, or you've been through something difficult where you're a little closed off energetically. And Spirit is saying they want you to be open as well in terms of how Spirit is bringing you abundance, the type of ideas, because Spirit can use anyone and anything to bring you your abundance. But if we feel I can only receive it in such and such way and narrow that potential, I'm hearing narrowing the potentiality or the infinite potentials, it can be a barrier or a block to receiving this. So Spirit is wanting you to be more expansive when it comes to what comes in and how it finds you. So you literally have the card of abundance. So for this group, there's definitely abundance coming once this shift happens energetically and mentally. Divine Beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. This is what I was saying. It's like there's a surrendering of the ego or the mind's conception of how things have to happen. And in that openness, in that flow, you get new ideas for abundance. You receive, I'm hearing abundance that may come out of the blue that you weren't really expecting. But I also am hearing there's a need. What sets you free energetically as well is really giving love to self and being gentle with yourself. There could be a little bit of healing here around self-worth, but I'm hearing self-compassion specifically. So there could be at times you may be a little bit harsh on yourself, or your mind could be a little bit critical of self. And it's like Spirit is wanting you to be very gentle and loving with yourself and surrender. And also constantly tell yourself, I am worthy of receiving, I receive divine abundance, just really working with affirmation as well. As you pray each day for greater compassion, a new self is born, drawing new people and experiences. Dear Lord, help me feel ever deepening self-acceptance. May I see myself as you see me. Exactly. It's like the divine wants you to see yourself as unlimited source consciousness. And as being unlimited source consciousness, we can manifest anything. We can draw in whatever we need. We can, expand past limitation. There's a new version of you that's being birthed. Yeah, and this can be the conception as well, that you are going through a rebirth. And right now, if your energy is feeling a little bit closed off, or you went through a phase where it's like, because I think of cave, like kind of hermit energy, where you've had to kind of go within retreat. It's like you're going to come out into this new expansive energy. There is still a little bit more healing, I feel. For some of you, it's like that egg may not be quite ready to hatch, but you emerge as a new version of yourself that is more expansive, more open, more able to receive. You have Stargate Heart. Yeah, and there's an opening and activation around your heart chakra. So we have heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. Yeah, you're going to feel... I'm hearing you're going to be set free. And you see with these hands especially, it's like the bird is now taking flight. Whatever still you're struggling with, and it will vary for each of you. Some of you, I feel like it's internal. There's some sort of process. For some of you, it could be a little bit of an ego death or a dark night of the soul where there's something you're freeing yourself from. But Spirit is saying you are going to be set free. Yeah. Cyrus, and there's going to be a lot of abundance and blessings on the other side of this. So this rebirth is how you step into your abundance. Keep going. You have Cyrus star blessings. Yes, proceed, be seen, push through. So there is going to be, people are going to see you in a very different light as well, but you're going to feel a lot more abundant, and that may lead you to be more generous. It doesn't, Spirit is saying you're going to be in that energy of wanting to give more. It could be in terms of abundance, but also in terms of self. Give more love, joy. I just feel this energy where you expand to such a level, you may not recognize yourself when you step into this new frequency, because you're going to be operating very differently to how you have previously. And I feel like people will notice the difference, but they may be reacting differently to you as well in a really positive way. You may find people are wanting to give to you more, or people are complimenting you more, giving you opportunities, reaching out for endeavors. There just seems to be, there will be a very magnetic feel to this change. And it could involve as well, like for some of you with Be Seen, there could be an opportunity tied to abundance where it's really asking you to, again, it'll be after this rebirth, but it's like you're going to want to showcase something. You may be showcasing a skill you have, an idea, a vision, something you've learned. You may just be showcasing your authenticity, and from sharing your authenticity, abundance and opportunities come in. So that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and don't forget to click on the link below to watch the second half at Spiritualistic. Hi, Group 3. To be honest, tapping into this group's energy, I'm not even sure if you need the reading. Like, your energy is just so bright and big, and it's like, I just feel this energy of blessings all around you in every area of life. Because Spirit keeps saying to me, like, you are the sun, and you also chose Sunstone, which I think is funny. And we have that sense of, for those of you who, I don't see in this group people working like regular ho-hum, jobs. I feel like for this group, I'm hearing like passion, joy, inspiration, being seen. For some of you, you will have a lot of abundance through through something you do in regards to communication, your throat chakra energy, something you share. You've mastered the throat chakra and the solar plexus chakra, and those two I feel are instrumental to your abundance. So it's something where I keep saying for this group, you're not all of you, but there's a sense of showcasing yourself. And not in like a superficial way, but there's a sense of putting yourself out there, sharing your joy, your personality, your interests, your truths. I'm just not getting an energy of like gaining abundance in a super traditional way. Like we do have the Hierophant here, but I'm seeing that more as especially sitting below the sun. It's almost like being in the spotlight or being a leader of sorts. People looking up to you, watching you. And with that 9 of Coins, I feel for this group, self-employment is coming through very strong. The self-employment, the arts, creating. It's like you create your own opportunities is what I'm hearing. It's like you just have such a powerful energy. I just feel like everyone and everything is drawn to you. But there's something especially to do with the throat chakra for some of you. So it could be singers, speakers, writers, spiritual teachers. I'm hearing just giving inspiration as well. Comedians, actresses, musicians. I think I've already said that. Yeah. I just feel like you're meant to be seen. That's really what I feel. And again, it will vary for all of you. And it doesn't mean you have to be like on a stage, but there's something about your energy. It's just so potent. I think you can't help but attract things. I also think for this group, you're going to be very, if you're not already, very fortunate in love with the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. I think people love it, not just romantic love, but I feel like people love you, or they will. Like there's just a sense of such like love, joy, blessings. Like the more you just embody all that you are and this beautiful light, I feel as though it's like people can't help. It's like the sun. It's like people want to come close, but they can't quite touch it. But they love that radiance, that warmth, that magnetism. That's why as I'm talking, I'm like, I don't even know if you need this reading, to be honest. I mean, maybe for some of you it's confirmation, or for some of you this is where you're headed, but it's just such a powerful energy. And then we have delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. Exactly. This group, you could not work a 9 to 5 where you're miserable. Like it just would not work for you. I just feel like you need to be inspired, lit up, because that's what you're here to do in terms of others. I feel like you're here to, I feel like you just it's almost like people could watch you. You could be talking about absolutely nothing. They just feel happy just watching you, being in your presence. You have such a powerful energy field. But I feel for some of you, this is coming from past lives. Like I feel for some of you, number one, I do think you're of a very high frequency, but joy is your secret to abundance as well. Like that was the first thing I was getting. The more joy you experience with what you're doing, creating, sharing, the more abundance you find, and the more joy you give and bring to others' lives, the more abundance and love you receive. So that's instrumental, and also something to do, I feel, for many of you with communication or being seen in some sort of way. Something you build, leadership. It could be entrepreneur as well, but this would be like a business that you love that, brings a lot of blessings to others. But I feel for many of you, I keep hearing you've mastered the solar plexus. I feel for some of you it could be Leos, but that's the type of, if you're not actually a Leo sun, moon, rising, that's the type of energy I'm getting. Like really, you just shine so bright. It's hard to put in words for me. You also have humility, but with what do we have? The Sun and the 9 of Coins. Again, very strongly emphasize those self-employment, going your own way, doing what you love. That could be, that can bring a lot of abundance for you, or having your own projects. So humility, allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. You have delight, and then you have delight here as well. And obviously the card, it's just insane. That's what I feel. It's like the more you're lit up, the more you're in that energy of joy, delight, bliss, the more you bring that delight to other people. Some of you could be great on like socials as well, like TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, it's like the happier you are, the more abundance just is drawn to. Abundance and love, they keep saying, because I feel for this group, you're going to be very abundant when it comes to relationships, friendships, opportunity, people just wanting to be around you. Allowing, radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. I feel for this group, part of why you're so good at attracting abundance, and an important aspect of it is allowing life to happen. Like I feel because you can gain so much joy, for some of you, from the small things. I just feel like for this group, you're just in a very high, joyful vibration. It's like you don't feel the need to control how things transpire or what others do or say, because you're so happy and content within. Your happiness isn't dependent on external circumstance. Karma. There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. I'm hearing for some of you, the talents and what you're doing in this life, or what you're going to create, your gifts and abilities have carried over. I think for some of you, you were artists, you were leaders of sorts. You could have been, for some of you, even royalty. You were, I'm hearing the center stage. Yeah, there's a sense of, and that's what's carrying over. Look, love again for this group. Oh my God. For those of you that are single, there's such a beautiful connection for you. It's not about finding love, you are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. I think for this group, you know you are love, you know you are light, you know you bring that energy, that consciousness. You are, you embody that source energy, and that's why it's so magnetic to others. But I'm hearing as well, what makes you so magical and able to manifest and enjoy life is you're very in touch with that inner child, and Spirit is saying don't lose that energy. Yeah, and with 7 of Coins, I feel like you just have everything just lines up for you, because especially when you allow, like Spirit is saying, if you get in a space where you're not in this space of joy, and I'm not saying you're going to be joyful 24/7, we all have our moments, but there's a sense of, you know, when you feel a bit disconnected or things are, you know, you're not in your highest of vibration, just take time to kind of center again, get back in touch with that light and that source within. And then just let go is what I'm hearing. Work. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. I feel for this group, you just have unlimited trust. Like it's like, everything could be happening and you're just like, no, like I trust in what's meant to be. You always see the positive, and it really works in your favor. Yeah, they say don't lose connection with that inner child and that beautiful light, clarity. Let me trust my deepest instincts in all ways, especially when matters are unclear. May my own holy intuition always guide the way. I feel for this group, you're very intuitive, but it's also because you live from that space, you live from that light, that love within. You're able to tap into it really readily. You also have here Heart of Source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity. You are the Heart of Source. That's how you radiate. That's what I keep seeing for you. That energy is so powerful. You're at very high frequency, very you just bring love and joy. Like it doesn't matter where you go, what you say, or what you're doing, you bring this energy. And that could be part of, you know, what attracts abundance and opportunity as well, because you put people back in touch with this light within. Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. Again, voice, throat chakra. For many of you, there's a lot of abundance that comes through sharing your voice, through singing, through sharing your wisdom. There's just some sort of they're delivering messages or inspiring or comedy, acting, any type of performance. I just feel like for this group, you're very talented, and these talents have carried over into this lifetime, as well as I feel for this group, you're comfortable in the spotlight. You're comfortable embodying that light. Well, for most of you, there's a sense that you're here to shine. You're here to share that energy and to live with a level of freedom. I feel for this group, this isn't a group that's here and, is meant to really struggle for finances. It's like Spirit is aligning things so you can act on your inspiration, you can share your gifts, you can follow your guidance, and abundance, people, love, opportunity just naturally flows. And I feel like you're here to model how life works for you when you embody those higher vibrations. And as well, being in joy. The more joy you bring in, the more fun, the more laughter, play, the more joy and delight you bring to others, the more that abundance flows back to you. So that's all I have for you. Don't forget to check out the second half of this reading at Spiritualistic on the link below. Hi, Group 4. So in terms of how to step into your abundance, I'm hearing for this group, it involves two things. And again, some of you will be at different points on this timeline. But the first I'm getting is healing the heart chakra. And I'm drawn to the heart chakra with this jade crystal especially. But it's healing the heart chakra and also strengthening the solar plexus, that confidence, that faith in yourself, really feeling as though, I'm here, I just heard feeling deserving, but it's like having that confidence to really go ahead and, act on the things that matter to you, make changes or shifts when it comes to abundance, career, life purpose. But I'm hearing for this group, your romantic and love life greatly affects your finances. For some of you, I feel like with the Seven of Swords, if you've dealt with a connection or connections that were difficult, karmic, that kind of tore your confidence down, I feel like that could have had an effect on your finances or on your ability to take action on your dreams, especially, or even, if you're involved and had connections where the person was quite negative as it pertained to your gifts, your abilities, your dreams, your inspirations, that could have had a bearing as well on your level of abundance, because that's what I'm feeling. We have the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. See, I feel for some of you with this romantic love, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. I feel for some of you, you were on or you're in or on this journey where you had to go through certain connections and karmic situations which in the short term or may look like they, tore down your confidence, your sense of self, but it's like you had, in order to heal that, you had to really dive deep to really find yourself. And then you emerge completely whole within yourself. That's when you attract your abundance. And it's like through that journey, you realize that the source of all abundance is within you. And again, some of you may not quite be here yet. You may still be in the healing phase. Others of you have already gone through this. But I'm hearing you realize I am the abundance. You don't attract abundance. You don't receive abundance. You are abundance. The source of everything is within you. And it's almost like, although it may have looked and it may have temporarily affected your self-worth or affected your finances when you were going through these situations, the wisdom and the epiphanies that you received from those experiences is what liberates you to create something, magnificent, is what I just heard. With that 3 coins, for some of you, you have a particular talent and skill. It will vary for all of you, so I'm not going to try and guess every single one, but I feel like for some of you, you have a gift, a knowing, something within you that has the potential with the Page of Coins to manifest a lot of abundance. But there was this period, but it's like this couldn't emerge in the world and generate a lot of abundance, and you may have dealt with difficulties with abundance because certain karmic situations or lessons in growth and expansion had to happen through, I feel for many of you, either your love life or a specific karmic connection situation, people's words as well. For some of you, I feel like you may have had people that you know, put down a talent or gift or didn't believe in it or just negative, very cutting with their words. Yeah, so we have here love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place or thing is your salvation, only love itself. I feel like for many of you, you had experiences where the door on things externally, like on a connection, like the door was closed or it didn't work out, it didn't happen. So you had to knock on another door and another until you reached a point where you went within and you found and knocked on that door within yourself, which puts you directly in connection with source, with your divine being. And that was always the purpose, was recognizing, and it's the same with abundance. It's not like, oh, I don't receive love, I am love. I embody that in consciousness. For this group, you've had a challenging path, perhaps to abundance, but just in maybe in life in general. But it's because you're a very old soul. Spirit just said ancient soul. And in order to elevate you, because you had so much wisdom to draw off and you wanted to reach a level of awakening, you had to take a path that may have not seemed fair with Justice and the Lovers. I'm hearing a karmic path, but it was a karmic path that really helped to ascend you so you could recognize your true identity. Because Spirit's making me feel like, say you knocked on a door in terms of a connection, and when I think of a door, I think of just opportunity. And, you know, it was a beautiful, loving match and you spent your life together and it was, you know, calm and effortless and everything flowed. What would have led you to really deep dive? Like oftentimes you don't have to grow and expand just because you're suffering or in pain, but more often than not, when we're talking about, you know, humans and the conscious mind, it will try to resist that. It's not gonna, it won't always want to just, you know, dive in and do shadow work or do, you know, kind of look at these things. And it's almost like sometimes the difficulty in the physical catches our attention because we may not even be aware that we're holding something internally from this life or others. So what I feel for this group, you had a huge amount of healing, and for some of you, you had a lot of karma to clear as well, but it's like for this group, you're such old souls, it's like your incarnations are winding down. So you had a steeper journey. They're showing me like scaling a mountain, reaching the mountaintop. You had more to kind of scale and go through and learn and experience, but it also accelerates you. It also brings you to a brand new vibration. It gives you a level of wisdom that someone that just had this straight and narrow, easy path wouldn't attain. And because of that, Spirit's saying your energy field has expanded so much that you can, it's like your impact is tenfold. Yeah, like when I'm tapping into, like I may have a level of confidence. There's a difference between like ego confidence, like, oh, I'm pretty and I'm smart, versus I am source. I am abundance. I am the creator of worlds. I am, you know, divine knowing. Like they're very different. There's a lot of power when we tap into this. And again, not power in an egotistical way, although it can be used in that way, but that's not what I'm feeling for this group. It's that power of having the divine behind you, being completely sufficient and whole within yourself. It's almost like when we have everything within and we don't need for anything to be happy externally, it's like everything then wants you, everything flows towards you. That's the level of mastery you're attaining when it comes to abundance. Yeah, you have complete faith, or by the end of this healing process, depending where you're at, you will have that. Yeah, it's like you go from finances being slowed because of, and maybe even a lot of obstacles. Like I feel for this group, it's been really tough in maybe every area. And obviously when we talk about abundance, it's not just finances, abundance of love, abundance of joy. But I feel for this group, you may have come from a desert phase, or could have been a longer phase for some of you. I just get that sense where it may have been really difficult to hold the faith, but it's like you persevere and then you come to this place. And it's like, okay, now I'm ready to leave my mark. Now I'm ready to share my gift. For this group, I do feel for some of you, you may be a late bloomer. Just because I feel you're very old souls and you had a lot to grow into. You had a lot to master and learn. So faith, miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. This is where you're at. But with the Lovers and inner child, it's like, I feel like someone or something, like a karmic connection, brought you to your knees. It doesn't have to be romantic, but with romantic love here, I feel for many of you it was. And it's like you had to completely alchemize yourself and transform. But because you did so, it's like it created this space where, number one, it's like you went to the core of your being. You got back in touch with that center within. And I feel like that's what allows more to come in. And we have, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. It's like really being nurturing and loving to self. I think for this group, you've had to be your own solace is what I'm hearing. For this group, it's like, this is a lesson you're mastering. This isn't just about abundance. Spirit's kind of going kind of off, kind of left field, but it kind of ties in. It's like you had to be and learn that the source of everything you desire is inside of you. The physical is just an illusion. It doesn't exist. So it's like as you anchored in and realize, okay, if I desire love in the physical, I embody love. It's not I need love, I am love. It's not I need resources and money, I am abundance. And I am open to all the infinite possibilities that, you know, that are drawn towards me. It's being completely in alignment. It's like you embody in consciousness what you thought you wanted externally. And when you embody all of that, everything you thought you wanted magnetizes towards you. That's what I feel you've mastered or will master. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. That's exactly what I was trying to say up here. You make space for something larger to take hold. And that's what I was trying to say is like, because you've gone on this inner journey, it's like the energy source, it's like tapping into, they're showing me like electricity. It's like, you know, like a light bulb versus like, I don't know, a power plant or something. It's like your energy field is huge. And what you can attract from there is, you know, tenfold. But it may have taken a journey where you had to go without, or things may have seemed almost stagnant. Please fill me with your confidence, oh love, grant me courage I never knew I had. I feel for this group, there's a level of fearlessness to you, which also is going to benefit you in terms of abundance because of how much you've been through. You reach this place where it's like, you're not afraid of rejection, you're not afraid of loss. You know, nothing can shake you. When your center is source consciousness and you know you are infinite source, you know everything you've ever wanted is inside of you, and you know you are constantly flowing with the divine. What can shake that faith? You know, they say the peace of God, attaining the peace of God. Attaining the peace of God is the realization that everything outside of you is illusion. It's not real, it doesn't exist, yeah? And with that, when you realize that you are everything, you are it, and nothing else exists, it does attain or bring a level of faith and peace that's unshakable. Being enough, you definitely started, I feel, on this journey because of wounds to self. Wounds to self-worth, having people that tried to cut you down, bring you down, karmic situations. But it all went to divine plan is what I feel. It's like Spirit is saying, it doesn't make it easier when you're walking that path, but it's like Spirit is saying, I feel like for this group, you really wanted to ascend. You really wanted to as well reclaim your power, your confidence, be whole within yourself. So being enough, the innermost heart says you're enough, nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You are, yes, you are love. This is exactly, when you're at this state of consciousness, everything's drawn to you. Like you just magnetize it effortlessly. And that's why as well, I feel for this group, there's just such mastery. You're masters is what I'm hearing. Or by the end of this journey and process, you will be. Solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. For some of you, this has been a very lonely, very difficult, very painful process. And I feel for many of you, you had to heal and transform yourself. I feel like they may have felt like you always obviously had spirit and source, you know, working with you and through you, but you may have felt like there was no one there, that nothing was happening, that, you know, things were not okay. But it's like, look at what you became. And it's like, I just heard like clapping, like Spirit is just clapping, like congratulations, because you are this huge energy field. The central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, success. Remember I said this Three of Pentacles is like a gift or something you have inside of you that I feel like you act on. It could be for some of you wisdom, specifically I was getting. But it's like a download or an idea, and it brings in so much abundance for you. I think some of you are Arcturian starseeds. So we have Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Yeah, you reclaim your power well and truly, but not power in terms of the human self. Like, oh, yeah, you know, I think I'm pretty now and I can, you know, send out my resume and practice self-care. It's like you reclaimed your divine power. You reclaimed your place as source consciousness. You awakened to such a level. And that confidence can't be shaken because it's not dependent on illusion. Wow, this group, the energy is so powerful. But I feel for some of you, you took this journey, you are starseeds, but you came here to take a journey of growth and enlightenment. And energetically, it's left like almost like, not an imprint, but like an energetic path that other people can follow. So it's like you were here to transmute, to experience certain difficulties, to come perhaps from a lot of challenges, especially around self, but alchemize that. And it's like you create that foundation to help others. For some of you, you could literally be masters where you're sharing your wisdom and teaching others when it comes to ascension, growth, healing, self-love. Those themes could be really important. Some of you are gifted writers as well. You may write books or help inspire people or lead them on this path, whether that's through sharing your own journey or just really sharing certain downloads you have when it comes to healing and ascension and alchemy. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Don't forget to check out the second part of this reading at Spiritualistic.